People think of a spell as, you're controlling someone's thoughts.
It's a prayer. A spell's a prayer.
You're wearing something. What is that? I don't know if they can capture that on the...
This is actually a pentacle.
Could you describe that?
And it's a 5-pointed star.
Right.
Which is the witch's star.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. And what it represents is the elements of earth, air, fire, water.
Earth, air, fire, and water.
And the 5th is the Great Spirit. That's why it's 5 points.
Ah.
And because the point is,
beautiful.
thank you. Because the point is up, it's positive energy. Now, if you saw the pentacle on somebody and it was reversed with the point down, they would be a Satanist.
Ooh.
Just like a Satanist will take the cross and turn it upside down,
yes,
they take the pentacle too. They like to mock religion.
Now, if there's no such a thing as evil and Satan, which I don't believe in that.
Right, I don't either.
At all. When people come in to see me and they say, Alexandra, a spell was put on me. And I will tell them that is because you believe in it.
Exactly.
You have bought into it.
Yep.
It's as real as a Disney movie. Let it go. Give it to the Holy Spirit. Love conquers all, and it is the greatest power in the universe. However, if the person believes in it, it has that influence over
It could be, if you believe in it, it could be life-threatening.
Exactly.
Because your mind is putting so much, just like I believe we can heal ourselves through our mind, we can also curse ourselves. And 9 out of 10 times when people come into the shop and they say, I have a curse on me, they don't. They really don't.
Does anyone have a curse on them?
I believe sometimes that people can send us negativity.
Yes, through their thoughts. They can send you negative thoughts.
And every once in a while, as a person, we need to break that. And you can
absorb
break
it
with a basic bath of sea salt and warm water. You don't need to go out and spend $2,000. Like the horror stories I hear about gypsies who are taking advantage of people and give psychics like you and myself a bad name.
Very bad.
This
is a gypsy.
Yeah. We don't do that.
No.
They'll come into my shop and they'll buy a $6 candle and they'll charge somebody $200 for it because they said they put a prayer into it.
Right.
We heal ourselves. And as psychics, we're only there to help people empower themselves and show them this is a roadmap. You can go either way with this,
It's real.
Exactly.
We're real. There's a sincerity. See, people need to understand that witches, and I don't, have anything to do with Wiccan or anything like that, but, when I was training for my psychology degree years ago, my analyst, I think she was born in like 1908. Mm-hmm. She was a very brilliant woman, very loving, religious in a kind of, more holiday celebration way. And she used to say to me, that people used to call her the witch.
Really?
Because she was very intuitive.
Oh, yeah.
And she sensed things that were going to happen. So there's no negative connotation around witch. It came from television.
Exactly.
And from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at witches, we've been around since the beginning of time. Witches were midwives. They were herbalists. They were people that would heal. And if you look at the roots of psychology and the roots of medicine, it all comes and stems from witchcraft.
Absolutely.
Because we used herbs to heal, and we still do.
Herbology.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at medicines now, there's herbs in medicine. Right.
Now, also, like I noticed that during Halloween, people kind of get out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I went home when I was in high school, I'll never forget this. Kids were throwing eggs against the bus, and I was like, oh, God, get me home.
Right.
And what is that all about? Is it?
I think people think it's a day that they can just let loose and
they need
take their frustrations out.
Yes.
To me, I always, because I was brought up in this, I never threw eggs, I never toilet papered houses.
No,
because to me, it was more a religious factor.
Shaving foam everywhere.
Exactly.
Which to me, that's about that's harmless.
Exactly. I'd rather see shaving cream
sounds
than eggs.
Good. Right. Eggs is like a pretty messy thing, right?
But that has nothing to do, that's more contemporary.
Yes.
The
whipped cream
ancient.
or the shaving
the
cream?
Shaving cream.
Now, I understand that the European immigrants who came over to America brought their own Halloween costumes with them. How do they influence the way we celebrate today? And what, what's the difference between their costumes and ours? And
well, again, too, it's the different regions and the different. I think a lot of their costumes were pre-period, the period of time for them, and they really
like
didn't
medieval,
dress. Yeah,
maybe?
they didn't really dress up as clowns or like Popeye that some people would. So they brought their customs over, and you know what? America actually adapted to a lot of their customs too.
Really? Yeah. Like what?
Even the foods, the hot apple cider and the
yummy.
Yeah.
We should have had someone make
candy apples. People that were doing.
Yeah. What is all that? The hot apple cider, the candy apples, and the dunking.
Right. Well, not only
is all that?
Not only is it foods of the season, but the apple. If you cut an apple in half, you will see a 5-pointed star in the seeds.
My goodness.
And everybody can do it, and everybody can try it at home. And it doesn't just have to be Halloween all year long. If you cut it down the middle, you'll see a 5-pointed star.
Now, what does that symbolize, Mark?
Okay, well, to the Celts and to witches, the apple represents Avalon. And that's where we feel we go. It's almost like heaven.
Avalon. Well, that's very strange because in Brooklyn, many years ago, I created a school for children.
Okay.
And this is goes back 15 years ago when I was a kid. And I wanted to have a school for children. My background is as a child psychologist.
Right.
And I was watching a TV program on a Sunday that this big Jewish banker, he decided to open up Florida to people who were middle class, who couldn't really go anywhere.
Right.
And he called it Avalon.
Really?
Meaning place of dreams come true. So I decided that was going to be the name of my school, Avalon. So it still exists in Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
It was Avalon Academy.
Oh, great.
Now it's Avalon Child Care Centers, but I'm not connected with it. But I love that name, Avalon.
Yeah,
when you said that, I was like, wow.
Yeah, because like you said, it is, it's the land of milk and honey. It's the land of promise. Because we'll go there and we'll learn again. We'll learn our lessons like we're doing here. And then, I strongly believe in reincarnation. I believe we've been here many, many times, and we're going to come back. And, I believe that's where we go and we rest until we're ready to come back again.
Totally. Yes. Now, where did trick-or-treating come about? And how come you don't have a treat for me?
Trick-or-treating actually came from, again, the Celtic lands. They felt that if you went door to door receiving treats, that the evil spirits would stay at bay. So, as witches too, a lot of times we won't go trick-or-treating, but we'll go to homes of people we know, and we'll make little incense packets for people, and then we'll give those out to the kids that come in.
Ah.
But Halloween has gotten Americanized, which I think is great because we need to start to make our own customs too, not just from Ireland, England, Scotland.
Now, what would you say is a really good way for people to celebrate Halloween, a party in their home that will give them connect them spiritually to their spirituality, connect them to their loved ones that have passed away?
I think even if they're not witches, but they're spiritual, I think a ancestral altar maybe, when you first walk in. And
what's an ancestral altar?
All you would need to do.
Anything here that we have?
Well, if you had a mantle, you might want to put some candles on it, and they give you white candles, and just pictures of people who were deceased that you want to honor. And your guests can bring pictures too.
Really?
And just leave them up there for the night. We'll honor them.
Right, right.
To
show them, and so what you want to do is see, people don't do that.
Right.
But I think it's a beautiful thing.
I do too.
I mean, maybe they think it's making it a little religious.
Right.
But
a little macabre.
What? Macabre.
Yeah. But people might think it's a little gruesome.
Right. Like, I'm going to bring a picture of my dead uncle and put a candle in someone's house.
But they're always around us anyway.
Yeah.
And people just have to realize that and kind of put the connection together.
Right. So they're there, and show them that you acknowledge them.
Exactly.
Now, what is the purpose? I mean, I know, but I want my viewers to know.
Right.
What is the purpose of the candles with the picture?
Okay, what the candle does is the candle represents all the elements. It represents earth, air, fire, and water, okay? And the ancient people, when they lit candles, that was a direct connection to the universe. So when we light a candle, and it could be next to a picture, you know, we're sending that out to the universe where, okay, you know what? You're out there somewhere, our ancestors.
Right.
We want to connect with you, and we want to honor you. So like on, you know, days where people pass away, it's always great to throw down, even if it's a small little candle, and just say, you know what? I acknowledge what you did on earth.
Well, you know, Jewish people, the Jewish culture does what's called Yortzeit.
Okay.
And they light candles on the, you know, on the anniversary.
Anniversary.
Yes. And it's the same type of thing.
Which is beautiful. You know, it's a beautiful ceremony.
Now, since you're speaking about spirits around people, do you see any spirits around me?
Well, I feel like there's a male energy with you, because when I read and I pick up on energy, usually my left side's feminine. So if something was pulling to your left side, I would say it was either mother, grandmother, but it's right side. So right side's either usually father, grandfather, or someone who acted as father to you.
Well, my father passed away November 27th, about 7 years ago, and he's always there.
Oh, he's always there. And around this time, he will be there stronger too, because it's easier for him to come into our world. You know, he's always watching over you, no matter what season, no matter, you know, what day. But this time of year, it's so much easier for them to come in. Also, for people who pass away during the year, it's believed that on Halloween, they go into the light. So if you pass away in January, you're kind of earthbound to do your stuff, you know, and stay with your family. And then on Halloween, you actually go into the light.
Really?
And start your second journey.
See, now, this is what I don't understand, because in my understanding, they're always in the light.
Right.
So why do you feel that they're moving into the light?
Well, it's
during
because
Halloween,
because Halloween is such a strong holiday, and to me, it's just another rite of passage. So I believe that if we're here, and you know, a lot of times too, spirits will linger a little bit because they don't want to leave us, and we don't want them to leave. And I always think it's us that holds them.
Very connected.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. Okay. As always, fascinating and wonderful to have you here. Thank you all for joining us today. Episodes of Alexandra's Psychic Eye can now be viewed on YouTube, and listen to us on Living in the Light with Alexandra every Sunday night. Alexandra's Psychic Eye is the foremost talk show on the paranormal on community access. Visit psychiceye.tv or call 718-983-8443. Again, 718-983-8443 for information on psychic spiritual workshops, readings, past life regressions, and spiritual connections with those who have passed on. In the meantime, remember, you are all in a state of grace, so continue to work on you. I'm Alexandra for Alexandra's Psychic Eye, and thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.